that is the AlphaTauri flipping on the formation lap. Who was that? Was that CapCat? That was CapCat in the AlphaTauri flipping on the formation lap. He doesn't have any, or does he? To me, it looks like his front wing is okay visually, but I never know for sure. Starting their third sector is now the final sector of their formation laps. And yeah. And race control already putting up the lights, or is it just a test? So I don't think SGYT is here today, so that means Little Boy will be on pole position for this Grand Prix. So I'm sure that is a sigh of relief for him. He would greatly enjoy that. Little Boy is going to have to move up to first now to the front position. And CapCat does have a broken wing. Oh, he just didn't attend quali. Oh, so he just didn't attend quali. I thought he was gonna have a broken wing, apparently. Anyway, we're about to kick off the third race of the season here at the Swan International Circuit. And race control puts up the lights. And it's red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. And Little Boy dropping back a couple of positions. What happened there? I'm not really sure, but I think he is down in last place now as the pit entry is open and CapCat exits the pit lane as he gets a big oversteer. But not the race start Little Boy would have wanted on pole position. So he just lost out a couple of places, and there is now 23 laps ahead of the drivers here today in South Korea. As they come down one of the straights here now. And Little Boy desperate to make a move on Proto. Does he make the move? He goes round the outside. And he does make the move going into the DRS zone. And that is a yellow flag. I think that is CapCat who has crashed. It is CapCat who has crashed in the AlphaTauri. And now all the drivers will have to limit their cars to fourth gear. And that is a safety car. It has been deployed. So Little Boy leads then, I think. Little Boy leads then comes Proto, and then Vanis, and then IP. And CapCat is out of the race in the opening stages of this Grand Prix. And is that someone spinning? I think that was someone spinning there. I'm not really sure. No, it was no one spinning. Okay. So the pit entry is open, so the drivers will pit. Okay, the spectator camera is broken. And who pits? So Vanex and IP both come into the pit lane now for new Irrl setups. as they both exit the pit lane now, and little boy takes the fastest lap, and they are both cruising at the moment. So behind the safety car, so the safety car is out. So the safety car is out. And the drivers now have to follow up behind the safety car. So we're now waiting on Daipi and Vanex to catch up. Okay, they have caught up now. And there's now yellow flag conditions for the drivers at the moment behind the safety car. What a start to this Grand Prix, with CapCat crashing, getting an oversteer and hitting the wall then. Which is what this track is obviously famous for. It proves a challenging feat for the drivers here today, and expect to see much more crashes in the later stages of this Grand Prix. Okay, well then. Will the safety car come in now? Safety car is ending, so the safety car is ending. So it will come in at the end of this lap. There's a flag running and the drivers are off and away then. And X4 and Liverpool has got some issues too. On the safety car restart, as you see Proto bouncing around on the invisible bump, almost sending him into the barrier. The first DRS zone now, the driver is opening that DRS wide open then. And his little boy gonna go for a move on Proto, on the DRS straight. Yes, does he get past Proto? Yes, little boy getting past Proto on the first DRS zone. And oh no, and he goes over the rumble strips, and that makes those positions to Daipi and Proto, and he is back into third place. And SUIT not happy about him not being able to join the race. But Proto leads then, and then comes Little Boy, and then Daipi and Vanix down and forth with CapCat DNFing, and that is the driver order for the race currently. And Proto takes the fastest lap. And now, Little Boy, is he gonna go for a move again? I think he's too far back to go with a move with DRS, and the race will restart. So there will be a restart. And the driver order for the restart is Proto in first, Little Boy in second, Daipi in third, Vanex in fourth, CapCat is out of the race, and SUIT will start from pits. So everyone remember your grid positions. so there will be a restart. Then, so to restart with 19 laps. So our first restart of the season currently. Meanwhile, the grid order for the restart is Proto starts in first, then Little Boy in second place, Deep in third, Vanex in fourth, CapCat has DNF'd, and SGYT, who has just joined late, will start from the pit lane. And this is where... Okay, so we are restarting again. Okay, and this is the final restart, and we are off and away for our second formation lap of the season then. So putting the yellow flag out there for the form lap. Okay, so no more restarts then. Going down the first DRS for the formation, that's SUIT going a bit wide there, and he has gone on the mediums. Okay, very well then. So the drivers now starting their final sector, the last sector of the racetrack, and they will get into their grid positions. then Vanix in IP and P3. I'm pretty sure. And to P always glitched. So I don't think we have to restart again. We use up all 2 restarts. And what a turn of events! That's 5 red lights, and the second the red lights come out, it starts raining. SUIT now exiting the pit lane now, who joined late. So I'm sure he'll be very grateful that race control decided to let him race in. So it is time for what's I reckon. It is thunderstorms. Oh, everyone going wide. They're sliding about. You have to take it cautiously in these wet conditions because they are on dries. So are we gonna see any crash? And Proto is gonna try to make a move on Little Boy, and he goes wide, and that means it's gonna lose out to some position. And in the back then, Vanex and SUIT also goes wide. Xbox increases Little Boy increases his lead, while Xbox stays behind. But is he gonna go for another move into here now? Is he going to do it? Yes, he is. Proto goes for a move, but can Little Boy scrap back? What an amazing battle as he hits the wall. And as he got damage, doesn't visualize, see? And they are sliding about everywhere. $75% precipitation during this race now. And it looks like it's not going to increase anymore. So drivers have to just crawl all the way to the pits. And everyone is going wide at every corner. Little Boy drifting there. Going wide, locking up those front tires. And SUIT will try to get past Vanex here now. Or is that Proto? SUIT is trying to get back. Is trying to pass Proto, and they're crawling across the racetrack. They're going super slowly then. Does he make the move stick? They're side by side into the pit lane, but he seems he is ahead while entering the pits. As SUIT passed them in the pits, that is not against the rules, so it is allowed for him to do that. So without a doubt, they are gonna go on the wet compound tire. But who's gonna come out ahead? Now it's going to be close between SUIT and Little Boy, but Little Boy manages to sneak past him. And now the race is back on. They can get back to racing speed. They don't have to crawl across the racetrack now, as they had to do when they were on the dry compound of tire. And Vanex getting a corner cut in the final sector there. I don't know which turn, but he has got a red final sector, so he has got a corner cut penalty. And Proto now using up all of his ERS, trying to catch up to SUIT and Little Boy, but has SUIT got past into first place? No, he doesn't. He's gonna beat wide, and Little Boy gets back past him. But this scrap is gonna continue, I'm sure. They go down through the main straight, the first ERS zone of this racetrack, and SUIT can't get past him. Can't get close enough to make a move down that DRS zone. But now the second DRS zone. What can SUIT do here? And he loses the rear, and he's got a big oversteer. But Proto is too far back to catch up and get past him and make do of that mistake. And he's lost some, and the SUIT has lost some time. The little boy in front in the Williams. Van Eyck saying he has no grip then. And the gap is 4 seconds between little boy and SUIT. So SUIT won't have DRS. And it seems little boy is pulling away. But Van Eyck seems to be put out of the question there. 13 seconds behind little boy. And about 7 seconds behind Proto. So that means the battle is on for P2 between Proto and SUIT. Down the pit straight they both go then. 76-second gap apparently is what my leaderboard is saying. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm guessing it is. And has he spun or made a mistake or something? I think he has. And little boy is sitting comfortably with the fastest lap, and he's already reached the first DRS zone. And then there's little boy coming right behind him, and then Proto, and then SUIT coming right behind him, and then Proto. But I think SUIT is pulling away from Proto because the gap is now 3 seconds between them both. And SUIT, if he can, is going to want to catch up to little boy. And he's definitely pushing as hard as he can. Now this is where they have to be cautious. Through the second DRS zone, he's handled it nicely. And Proto and SUIT is pulling away from Proto. The gap is now 5 seconds. 5.4 seconds between the two. And I think that's Van Eyck getting lapped. That is Van Eyck getting lapped. He gets lapped by SUIT, and soon comes X-Bop. Other than that, he is sliding around, going over the sausage curb. There comes X-Bop. There comes X-Bop, passing him now. Well, it seems SUIT has caught up to little boy by 2 seconds then. So can SUIT thing catch up in time? Little boy has gone purple in the first and final sector, so he has been pretty fast all the way up until now, where SUIT is catching up. And SUIT is now much closer, as we can see as they go down this first DRS zone. And it seems Van Eyck has absolutely no grip. And SUIT moves over to the side. You want to stay as wide through this and the best line possible then. Extending all the way out of the racetrack, and it's not what he wanted. He goes onto the curb then. I mean, sausage curbs. And Van Eyck pits for new tires, I'm guessing. It's obviously going to be wet. What else would he use in these conditions? Catch up to little boy before the end of the race. With this pace, it seems like he can. Catching that oversteer nicely as they go across the final which is not what you would have wanted, and that can cost you a lot of time, and more importantly, it can cause you a crash, getting a bit very risky, going on the curb and losing the rear. The rear's not liking that. You don't want to go on the curb here too often. You want to extend out the track as much as you can to get the most time possible, and it dries up. So the sun has came out. That will be a huge sigh of relief for the drivers. And there's 13 laps remaining then. So the driver's gonna push. But once he gets below 50, those wets will be much slower than what they are currently. And they will start degrading fast. But who is going to stay out one more lap? And will that work out? Trying to go for the overcut as he hits that barrier that's sticking out there. That is a huge hazard for the drivers. I don't think anyone will stay out at this point. I think everyone is going to box. And if anyone does try to go for the overcut, it will not work for them because it is drying up really fast. Little Boy and SUIT, Xbop and Vanek starting their final sectors there, dive into the pit lane, and as someone stayed out, Little Boy has stayed out. So Little Boy staying out, will this cost him? I think it will, because it is now going to get below 20%. Has anyone gonna go into intermediates? I don't think they have. SUIT is obviously going to go on the dry compound of tires here. He goes onto the hard, so he will be going to the end, but Little Boy has stayed out, and it is now dropping to below 10% then. And Vanex has crashed out, and he is out of the race on the wet compound of tires, but I don't think that is on the racetrack then. No, it is actually at the pit entry. So the pit entry is closed, and there won't be a safety car until the marshals get that hazard out of the way. Pit entry is now open again. I think the marshals have managed to get the hazard out of the way. I don't see a car there. No, the car is there. Okay. And will the hazard be moved out of the way before? Yes, they are. So the hazard has gone out of the way, has been moved. And as Little Boy crashed out or something, and Little Boy stays out. The pit entry is open, so I don't know why he stayed out. And this is going to cost him heaps of time. If he's doing this correctly deliberately, so the pit entry has opened, yet he still has decided to stay out. And our SUIT can catch up already. Oh, and just being informed that he actually lost the line right as it opened, so unlucky for him, not what he would have wanted. As we've seen in the race, he is much faster than Little Boy in terms of raw. I mean, he's much faster than SUIT in terms of raw pace. So if he keeps now, will he be able to catch up before the end of the race? About 11 laps remaining. So he needs to put up 3 seconds a lap, and if he does not get past by the end Max is also out of the race, and that leaves only Proto, SGYT, and Little Boy in the top 3 currently. As they both start their final sectors then of this racetrack, and Xbob is at the second DRS zone, I think. And Little Boy does pit now, so SUIT, is he going to be able to catch up? He's passing the pit lane now, and he does get past Little Boy. But now Little Boy is exiting the pits now, I think. And he has to do something magical if he is able to catch up to SUIT. So, he's come out of this pit box. And he's reached the end of the pit lane. He's exiting the pits now, actually. And as SUIT flipped, SUIT has flipped, I think, is what I'm being informed by race control. And since he is still able to continue, no action will be taken by the RC now. And the gap between them both is 9 seconds, and there's 10 laps remaining, so Little Boy has to pull out a second lap if he is able to catch up. And if he does manage to do that, then it will come down to the final lap for these two, a final battle. And it looks like the gap is actually 5 seconds, actually 6 seconds, not 9. Sure if that's true, but that's what the leaderboard says, so I guess we have to wait and see until the end of the race. And Little Boy is on the faster compound of tyre. He is on the mediums, whereas SUIT is on the warm hards. So what can Little Boy do then? Can he catch up at the end of the race? Only 3 runners remaining. SUIT has lost his front wing. He has lost his front wing, and I'm sure that is. And you can see him bouncing all the way down that straight. That is one of the cons of losing your wing. You get a whole lot of porpoising. Well, that means Little Boy has gone back ahead, and there won't be a safety car. There won't be a safety car then. And only 9 laps remaining, so that is a sigh of relief for Little Boy. And what tyres has SGYT gone on to? I didn't see, but I think he's gone on to the medium compound of tyre, the yellow ringed rubber. And is he going to be able to catch up to Xbob before the end of the race for P2? Or is Xbob just too far ahead for SGYT? As it's that invisible bump there, bounce and jumps. Little Boy is 19 seconds in front of Proto. So I think it's a pretty comfortable win for him. But the gap has now been reduced to 18.5 seconds. So I think Little Boy is taking it cautiously then, trying not to crash, because he knows that he's way too far ahead for anyone to catch up to him. So all he has to do is take it cautiously. He can go as slow as he wants to, and all he needs to do is just finish the race. Make sure you don't crash, because he's way too far ahead for anyone to catch up. So I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to be wanting to do now, trying not to crash, taking every corner cautiously before he was pushing. he snatches the fastest lap from SUIT once again. But will SUIT be able to scrap back and take that fastest lap point, the extra point on those mediums? He is on the same compound of tyre as Little Boy, but it seems Little Boy still has heaps of pace in those tyres, setting purple sectors everywhere. SUIT and setting yellow sectors, and Little Boy is obviously pulling away as SUIT hitting that invisible bump at the second DRS zone once again, making his car jump. So I'm pretty it's no surprise that whenever a driver hits that bump, their heart rate definitely goes a bit higher. But will Proto be able to stay in P2 before the end of the race? Only 7 laps remain then, and the gap is about 8 seconds. So the gap is about 8 seconds between the two drivers. So can Xbob stay ahead? But the gap has just been reduced to 7 seconds then, or 6 seconds, sorry. But it seems like a pretty comfortable win for Little Boy. And just gonna say this now, sorry if you hear any hammering in the background. There is some construction going on as Proto sliding about. But it was nicely held by him. So a pretty nice drift there by him. And it seems the gap is changing really marginally. Now seconds. And there's only 6 laps remaining. So now Proto needs to push. He's going to push for his life then. He is in a slower car. He is on a stock car with very minimal upgrades, whereas SUIT is in that fast Aston Martin. Obviously, that isn't the case in real life, but in IFR, the Aston Martin is much quicker. Has SUIT lost his front wing again? Yes, he has, and that means that means Proto just needs to keep it safe, and he has gotten P2. But I wouldn't be surprised if SUIT pits for softs then, pits for softs, and try to go for that fastest lap, try to go for that extra point. He is in P3, which, don't get me wrong, is a lot of points. And I'm getting a lot of pings by me there. Oh, now the gap is 20 seconds. So I think that is a pretty comfortable win. I mean, a pretty comfortable P2 for Proto. And you can see the porpoising because of that loss of front wing. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what SUIT goes on. And I'm pretty sure little boy's tires are worn there, because it has been quite some time. I'm not really sure how much they have removed, which is something IFR need to implement, the ability to see a driver's GUI when spectating them, just so we can see all the little details. Now, tires is SUIT going to go on. Soft is the tire he is going to go on, the red ringed rubber. So he is going to try to go for that fastest lap, and he is probably going to make it to the end. Those tires are going to be begging for mercy. They're going to be hot and they're going to be really degraded. And little boy obviously pits. I'm guessing he's going to go into the softs. No, he goes onto the mediums. So I'm not really sure he has a fear of losing that fastest lap. And if he does, will he pit again for softs? And SUIT going very slowly then. That must be bad. That must be against the rules. You can't be going slowly. And he tries to get DRS. I'm not really sure if that's gonna help him. He is a lap down after all. But is little boy gonna pull away enough to be able to not let SUIT get DRS? And even if he does get DRS, I'm not really sure it's gonna help him, because he was going slowly for most of that lap, meaning this will surely not be a fastest lap. And is SUIT ahead? Is he too far ahead? I think he is. So I think SUIT has lost DRS, as he's losing the rhythm, and little boy has pulled away way too much for SUIT to get DRS, so that sneaky little tactic is not working for him. Very well then, we pushed on, and Proto is now 18 seconds behind little boy, and lap SUIT. But I guess we have to wait and see if he has gotten DRS or not. And if he hasn't, then that means his tactics won't work. As he's sliding about, going on the curb there. Let's see what his first sector is going to be. Does he have DRS? No, he does not. He doesn't have DRS. So his tactics not working then. But what is his first sector going to be? The boy sets a purple first sector, and SUIT deny him though. No, he can't. It is a yellow first sector. So pitting for softs is not going to work out, because they are going to be really bad. As he flips and he's out of the race. And wow, that is a massive crash. They're flipping, multiple tires going off the track, and he is on the racing line. Invisible bump. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The driver's heart rate goes really high in that bump, and I'm sure this is the case here, as he disconnects immediately. And his car isn't on the racetrack. Yeah, it's not on the racetrack, so will it still be a safety car? Okay, so it's gonna be a safety car for one lap. Wow, another turn of events. So Xbox will be able to catch up, but it has started raining as little boy passes the pit lane. So I'm thinking it's going to be time for Intis if it gets higher by next lap. And is this going to be a Michael Massey moment? Because now Xbox has the chance to catch up. And little boy passing the safety car there. I'm not really sure why he did that, because the safety car was waiting for the leader. Is he trying to get to the pits? So he has overtaken the safety car. And now he is off and going again. I'm not sure if much people know this, but in a straight line, the safety car is somehow faster than the F1 car in IFR. And Xbox Proto has caught up. So is this gonna be a Michael Massey moment? And without a doubt, they dive into the pit lane then. Xbox drifting there, going wide, hitting the wall. Nice drift from him there, even though he hit the wall. Full deja vu from Proto. Proto. And all the pit entry codes are open. It is time for Intis. 32% precipitation currently. And the safety car is going to end next lap, and the pit lane is open then. So we've had rain come and go twice in this race with 2 restarts. And how will the drivers be able to cope in these intermediate conditions? And there's only 2 drivers remaining. So if they both crash, then that will be really interesting. So they're going side by side into the pit lane there, but it seems Little Boy is ahead. Okay. Oh, then Little Boy's lost his front wing. So what's happened? I was too busy. Yeah, I didn't see that. Has he lost his front wing? His mouse disconnected apparently. And does this give Xbox the lead? And is this gonna cause some controversy? Little Boy saying the rules say that he is allowed to restart. Is this gonna say some controversy? And the safety car is ending. So this is not what little boy wanted. Will he hit again, or will he go that final lap on a broken wing? But it seems like Proto is going to win this race. It is green flag running. Well then, Proto at the first DRS zone and pits for Indies at a new front wing. The next 80 Proto leads by 54 seconds. So I'm sure he's going to be really happy about that. As he starts his final sector then. The final couple of corners. Will Proto crash in one of the final couple of corners? No, he doesn't. He reaches the final corner, weaving about, crossing the line in style. Proto wins South Korea, the third round of the season here in IRL. Little boy takes P2 and the fastest lap, 19 points for him, whereas Proto will get the full 25 points for this Grand Prix today. Only 2 runners finished this race. SGYT Vanex and Deep had all DNF. And oh no! Okay, so little. This is funny. Give me a moment. Now, the driver is allowed to cross the finish line on foot, as we've seen in real life Formula 1. Will he be able to cross it before the race is fully over? He's going to want to hurry up. He has to do a mansell here now. Running across the racetrack. Stops waiting. Him there. You can see him in the distance. And wow. Okay, sorry about that. My sisters were interrupting me there. And where is he? And he is now crossing the line. You can see the line in the distance there, on foot. Here it is. I'm standing at the finish line now. He has to run all the way here, where I'm currently standing, and he is almost there. Will he be able to cross the line before the race is completely over? What dramatic fashion to end this Grand Prix. Is he going to cross the line? He has to cross it fully on foot. Yes, he is. Little boy takes second place in the most dramatic fashion ever. Wow, what an ending to that Grand Prix. That second place for little boy. Well, everyone, thanks for coming to today's South Korean Grand Prix. What a dramatic race this was. Say bless you on chat right now. So yeah. Well then, I'm your commentator Wolfie, signing off for today's race, the third round of the season, and that is the end of the South Korean Grand Prix here at the Suwon International Circuit. The driving classification: Xbox, a Proto in first, Little Boy in second, with the fastest lap. SGYT, Vanex, and Deep have all DNF'd, and that is the end of the Grand Prix. Thanks for coming.